Back now on Triad today, and it's time to talk about air pollution and how to be wary of it and what to do and to take care. And it's a serious thing. And sometimes you think, oh, I know about air pollution. We're going to find out more about it. Jay Paul, our director. We can see our special guest, Patrick Reagan. He's a division manager of monitoring and mobile sources with the Forsyth County Environmental Affairs. This is air pollution season, is it not, Patrick?
It is.
Good to see you.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Air pollution season. Now, what's the parameters of that? What is air pollution season?
Well, don't get me wrong, we monitor air quality throughout the year at the Environmental Affairs Department, but we specifically look at the summer months as our air pollution season.
And that's because?
That's usually when the pollution levels are the highest.
Because it's so hot and everything yeah.
That's correct,
okay.
Yeah. Usually the ozone levels are the highest during those months, April through September.
Right. We have a couple things I was going to show. Now, I know that some of you won't be able to see this up close at home, but I just wanted to refer you to a website, and I'll give it now and I'll give it later so you can see some of these things we're going to be referring to. If you go to www.partnc.org, it will direct you to another website, ncair.org, and it will give you charts and graphics and things and tell you about the color codes and what they mean. We're going to get into that in just a second. How do we know if the air quality is bad?
Well, fortunately, at the Environmental Affairs Department, we have a forecasting team, and there's a team of meteorologists that actually forecast the air quality similar to the way you'd forecast the weather. And again, we start with a weather forecast, and we start with today's air quality, and we combine those two factors together to come up with a forecast for air quality for the next day.
Yeah, and you know, it's very important, you know, for those of us that have family members that suffer with various types of lung disease, and you know, this is no joking matter, is it?
It's not at all. I've made presentations before when I've used the color codes as an example and used sensitive populations. And to use a bad pun, it's not the sensitive populations that cry at sappy movies. It's actually the people that are asthmatic and children and elderly people. Yeah. They can really be affected by air quality levels.
When they go out and say, let's go to a movie this afternoon, and they haven't paid attention to the forecast, and they'll be wheezing and it's hard to breathe. So you really do need to pay attention to these, which brings me to this next question. I'm going to let Patrick sort of explain very briefly what these color codes mean, because there are all sorts of things like we showed you this chart, and again, you can go to the website on it, but you have green, you have yellow, you have orange, you have red, and you have purple. So let me ask you what each of those, what's green?
Green is good air quality. It's when everybody can go outside and enjoy the outside.
Yellow?
Yellow is moderate air quality, and that's when you should put your guard up. Spend a limited time outside if you have those sensitivities.
What if we hear that it's orange?
Orange is when it's unhealthy for sensitive groups. That's when all sensitive populations should limit the time they spend outside.
Red?
Red is unhealthy air quality, and that's when all populations should limit the time they spend outside.
And this next one, purple, I have never seen that issued in this area, have I?
Fortunately, we are very lucky that we have not experienced a lot of purples. Now, we have in the past experienced code purple, and that's extremely unhealthy air quality. All populations are affected at that point.
We mentioned, and I'll give a plug for the website again in just a second, but that I want to backtrack on that, which is when you go to that PART website, that brings me to this, which is there are alternative ways to get around that can help the pollution situation, right?
That's correct. Obviously, the first thing in the air quality season to pay attention to is to protect yourself. Pay attention to the color codes in the air quality forecast, but also look at alternatives. When the air quality is bad, consider alternatives like PART. I actually ride PART, and I feel like I make a difference. The PART bus, that's correct. Or carpooling or vanpooling. Many other tips that you can do to reduce your footprint.
Yeah, I've talked to people that, you know, people seem to really like riding the PART bus. It saves money, but again, it's easy on the environment too, right? Very
much so. And actually, with this being the 40th anniversary of Earth Day, it's a great time to look at your lifestyle and consider changes and anything you can do to help the Earth.
Yeah, I think that's important. You know, you talk about Earth Day and you have these charts and things we put up. It's not just for show. It's not just something that, you know, Patrick does when he goes out on speaking engagements. I mean, it's really serious stuff, and we want people to pay attention to these air quality forecasts as we get further in the summer. So one more time, I'll put up the PART logo and the web address. That's www.partnc.org. That will navigate you to ncair.org, where you can get to more specific information. And you're available, again, to go out and do speaking tours and things like that, right?
Most definitely. We're happy to share that information with everybody.
Patrick